Anyway, so you've sent me the games. Let's see what happens here. What's happening? So d4 e5. That's a very unusual way to play. To be honest, I think I've never played like this. I wonder why opponent didn't just take. What did you have prepared for this?
I will just play knight c6.
All right, knight c6, knight f3.
Then I could bring out my bishop, and stuff like that. I could even go for my classic English gambit I usually play.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, move like c5 is not a good choice. It never is, because you need to think about pawn structures, right?
Yes.
If you play c5, going to d1, you need to think 10 moves ahead. White is gonna play knight to c3, bishop to f4. Might be able to play knight to b5, queen to c2, and let's say rook to d1, right? After a few more moves. You have a rook and the bishop looking at the d6 pawn. The d6 pawn is never gonna be protected by any other pawn because you pushed this pawn. So yeah, you just created a weakness for yourself. You should have probably just kept this pawn here and pushed this one like this. So this way your pawn is always protected from any attacks on the d file, and you have no weakness. Your pieces are free to create attacks instead of being tied to defend the pawn. I think pawn to c5 was the critical move that kind of weakened your position. You didn't lose because of this move, but it's something you should think about. Alright?
Yes.
Because you always, if your pawn is on an open file, you always want it protected by another pawn. So for example here, if you castle and play rook to e8, yes, you're attacking the pawn, but it's always protected by the f2 pawn, so white is just chilling, right? But here, your pawn isn't chilling. After he plays rook to d1, it's gonna be attacked, and no other pawn is going to be defending it. And sooner or later, your pieces will want to move, but they will not be able to because they will be tied to defending the d6 pawn. Alright, bishop e4, bishop e6, and then here d5, something that just screams to me, for example. Rook b8, a6, b5. Yeah, I think you struggled with the plan, to be honest. Like, I also experienced the same mistakes back in the past. I wanted to play a6 and b5 so badly, but sometimes it just doesn't work because he's got the bishop, knight, and the pawn, and yeah, you at most have a rook pawn and a rook, so it's just something that is super time efficient, and I wouldn't do it. d5 is a lot quicker, playing in the center. But okay. a6, b5, you actually managed to do your plan. Knight b4, and you are doing pretty well. Just rook to d8, oh, sorry. Maybe rook to b6, right? Bishop to e5, knight d7, just simple attacking moves to kick him away, and rook to d8, and you are doing amazing. But something happened. Like, why do you think you have blundered like this? Wait, let me see your time. Okay, you took 1 second to play this move. This is a mistake. Like, you should probably think 5 moves for 5 seconds at least. Just take a while to check your move. But I guess you didn't check it at all because yeah, you just spent 1 minute. I guess you just played the simplest move you saw, and yeah, you didn't check at all. But okay. I like how you tried to defend. I like that you found the square. This position was lost anyway, but I guess you need to defend from behind. Otherwise, there's just no chance. He's just gonna push the pawns. You gotta respect your opponent. So I liked your game. So number one thing, creating a plan. I think that you should prioritize playing in the center, especially when your pieces are more in the center than your opponent. And number two, tactics. I mean, you just need to play slower, and you need to make sure you check your moves. I would suggest you to spend 20% more time on each move. I also want to say that I really respect that you're showing me the games that you have lost, because many people send their winning games and they ask for me to analyze their winning games where they just played perfect chess. What's the point, right?
Yeah, there's no point of doing that if
yeah, I mean, it's just ego thing, I guess. Let's just recap. So everything is good here. Knight to d4, I wouldn't play this move, just knight f6, I guess, or bishop e7. But okay, I understand. f5, a gamble, but many people lose money on gambling, right? So you shouldn't really play it. Knight to f6 will be the simplest, or queen f6 and queen g6 with development. Just focus on the development. You like developing the pieces, so I would just suggest you to do it. Alright. Here again, Yes, queen d7 is good. It's a good idea. I like it. But it doesn't work. And you actually you can combine two things at the same time. Develop your pieces plus attack the f5 pawn. So for example here, and now bishop g5. Because now you are developing you've castled and developed your rook. And you're doing few things at the same time. But queen d7, if the move is only here to destroy this pawn, he's just gonna be able to defend it, right?
Yeah.
Queen d7, move that doesn't help your piece development. Castling, move that helps you, plus attacks the f5 pawn. Two things at the same time. For me, for example, I treat chess as I treat moves like they cost me money, right? Every move costs you something. So it costs you time. So you want to be as much time efficient as possible. If you can do three things at the same time, playing one move, like defending your king, attacking your opponent's king, and maybe winning material, you should try to find a move like this. You need to be as efficient as possible. If you make moves that have multiple ideas behind them, so you have more opportunities. Queen d7, h5. I mean, you're not in the position to attack, you're in the position to defend and keep the position closed. You're a pawn down, just defend, play bishop d7, queen e7, and long castle. And maybe then attack once your king is safe. But now, you're just giving away the h file because you weren't ready to control it, right? You weren't ready to control the h file, so I guess you should have just prioritized your development because you had no advantage, no reason to open up the h file. Because yeah, your rook wasn't ready to defend it. Alright, king e7. And now, what I wanted to tell you, what I want you to really learn from this game. A knight has a very restricted movement pattern. A knight cannot just go from here and simply here, for example. It cannot just come here. It needs to jump around things. And this is blocked. And when you have those pawns, this wall of pawns, the knight is finding it difficult to actually jump around the position. How is the knight? What is the best score for this knight, Robey? What do you think?
Maybe like move it back to the first rank to try and like reroute, because towards the center is all like taken. So
Yeah,
you have to move backwards to
exactly.
reroute
See,
the knight.
that's super annoying. Like, rather than just play d4 and knight to e4 and he's got the best piece in the world, he needs to struggle to find anything. Now you're gonna go bishop e8. Yes, he can go rook to h8, but say rook d8, knight d3, and bishop f7. And now again you're restricting his knight. You see, you need to be
Oh,
unlucky here. You need to be
oh, I
unlucky to your
see.
opponent. Yeah.
It's about keeping that tension.
Yeah, keeping tension, keeping control. If you move your pawn, push your pawn, you're creating... The pawns work together best when they are close together. Because they are literally controlling everything. Like, you're restricting all of your... everything. So, yeah. Keep your pawns together as much as possible on the same rank. After this, you create many weaknesses. Yeah? And Rubai, yeah, once you get better, you start to realize that the things that you feel during game, like stress, fatigue, or irritation, these also apply to your opponent, right? You should think of what your opponent is thinking when you just block all of his progress. He's gonna think, oh my gosh, my time is running out. I've got a better position. The guy is so bad, he gave away a pawn at the start, so he's gonna make a stupid pawn. He's gonna make a stupid mistake. Right? He's gonna play d4 and think, okay, this pawn sacrifice is good. You're gonna take here and bishop f6, and you're suddenly winning. So what I mean is, be as much, if you're defending, don't worry about trying to attack. You've already messed up. Alright? If you have a so much worse position with a pawn down, you shouldn't really go for a win. You should go for a draw and keeping the position safe. And your opponent at your rating is gonna make a stupid mistake. King's Gambit with black. What is going on? I've never seen that, to be honest. Alright, rook to e1. I really like this move, Robey. So now it makes sense. It actually makes sense. Because you are creating some threats. You can even take... I guess you can even take on e5. And play bishop f1, right? So I really liked... Alright. Knight takes e4. I'm not sure about that. I mean, a4 is usually a good move, but I'm not sure in this position, you know, because you're in the position. It feels like it's gonna open up. Usually, you have a pawn on e4 and he's got a pawn on d4, so the position is closed. Then you can play pawn to a4 to grab more space because the position is closed. So we want to play on the wings. But here, the position is still super open. He's probably gonna push in the center and open everything up, so we should not really push this pawn. I would go bishop f1 here. Force him to open up, and now you are able to develop, right? You are able to play knight to c4 and grab more space. Because your problem really in this position is not having space. But okay, a4. Have you ever, like, why did you play a4? Did you see it in YouTube videos or something?
I didn't think I have any like attacking chances. I just try to play, like push some flag pawns on
Okay,
the
yeah.
edge
Oh,
of
yeah.
the
So
board.
that's like a GM. That's like a GM tip. That's a GM. Yeah. But sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't work because the position is not closed. You're not controlling the center. So if he now opens up the center, your a pawn might actually get weakened, or at least it's just a waste of tempo. Okay, knight to h4, knight f5. Yeah, good. I like this. g3. I hope you play g3. Yeah. Okay, f3, bishop e2. Okay. I would just get rid of this rook, to be honest. It's annoying. Super close to your king. I would just get rid of it. But okay. You played c3.
Okay.
It's a very good move. Another very good move. Bishop c5. Bishop e2. Nice. Okay, he's gonna take on f4, right? Yeah. Did you think about rook takes f4?
Oh, is this something there?
Yeah, I mean your king is just weak.
My king will be weak, yes, my king will be weak. But I still play it anyhow. I know that like he has to first of all move his rook, and he has to like bring other pieces. So I think I still had enough time to do something.
Like, but did you think that rook takes f4 was a mistake, or do you like what's your evaluation of this position? Do you feel like white is
I saw that it was happening, but I just like called his bluff because I
Okay.
know that he has to bring his other rook first.
Yeah, but it's gonna be very quick. Look, like what can you do as white? What are you gonna
But
do?
currently he's trying to play queen f2 check.
Yeah, right now,
Or
yeah.
even bishop
Okay.
f2, or even bishop f2 instead.
Do you
So I
want to
have to
play
play
this?
that. That's
Okay.
forced.
Rook to e5.
But for me, I'll be cooked. Let's see. I've been moved the king here. I have to move the king there.
Okay.
This should be lost for me now, of course,
Yeah,
right?
you can even go bishop f2. Yeah, it's gonna be lost. I don't see how you're gonna win exactly very quickly here, but basically it's lost. You're gonna struggle with white. So a move like this, don't call the bluff. Exchange. I think that a rook and the bishop, they are sometimes equal if the piece is good. This bishop
Or
is worth a rook. There's many instances where people sacrifice their exchange and it just works. Especially when your king is weak. Like this bishop is an amazing piece. Oh, I wouldn't go rook to e5. Sorry, I would go bishop d6 and the game ends. You cannot defend h2.
it's true, and the game ends. The game ends. That's true. Oh, that's true.
Alright. So you go to the bluff, queen to d5, and the game ends as well. So yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, I mean bishop f4 was the critical mistake. You cannot do something like this. Like you need to count pieces in the attack, like takes, and takes. How many pieces attack? 1 and 2. Your pieces defend 0.
Put all of this in mind.
Yes,
Now,
Rubey, and let me.
hopefully,
You know what, Rubey? We could do it. I can send you the things you should work on and the resources, and we could
sure.
meet next time, for example, in a month, and see how you've improved. Right?
Sure.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rubey. Very cool. It was very good to train with you.
Bye.
Bye.